Hey everybody, it's your girl Charlotte Van Horn with Black Expats in Panama. And of course, I'm always so glad to spend some time with you and introduce you to expats in the area and people doing marvelous things. And I have recently had the occasion to learn about Linda Bronson and Ruth Rivera. And they have a program called El Proyecto Phoenix. Did I get it right, Ruth?
Yes, you did.
Okay, because Ruth will get you together on that, okay? So, and I appreciate that. So we are going to talk with them today. They're both expats in Panama. So first, I just want to say hello, ladies, and thank you for spending some time with me today.
Hi, Charlotte. Thanks for having us. Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, let's just start off by you all telling us a little bit about yourself, you know, where you're from, how you ended up being a Black expat in Panama, and how long you've been there.
All right. Well, I'm Linda Thompson, and I've been here for 9 years, or almost 9, by way of Costa Rica. I'm born and raised in California and always wanted to live by the ocean and went to Costa Rica. There was no ocean, airport, but no ocean. And after spending 9 months there and doing visa runs to Panama, I wondered, why am I here when I have to exchange money? Nothing happening. The weather is better in Panama and prices.
And you ain't got no beach.
Right. And so after that, I'm like, why am I here? I'm out. And so I came to Panama, been here ever since. I just go home to visit, and my visits are getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
What part of California?
Sacramento, the Oakland Bay area,
Mm-hmm.
stomping grounds.
Well, let me ask you this. When you first came to Panama, did you just tell us the area in Panama that you live, and did you just decide on that right out?
It's really fun. When I first started looking at moving to Panama, I started talking to this lady about this house that she had, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, the whole bit. And it ended up that I got talked into going to a place called Oceanfront in Gorgona, which is about a block from the beach or less.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed there for exactly 3 months and then ended up moving to that very house that I told the lady about in the beginning.
Wow.
And I lived years.
And you've been there, and you've been there since?
No, I lived in that house for 3 years. And
Oh, okay.
left there, moved to Rio Hato, to Playa Blanca.
Okay, Playa Blanca. Okay, and Playa Blanca is how far from Coronado?
35 minutes.
About 35 minutes. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Miss Ruth?
Well, I born in Puerto Rico. I left there when I was 6 years old. So I was raised in the United States, kind of moved around considerably until I was about 15. And then we moved to Seattle, and I stayed there for 48 long gray years. Being a Caribbean girl, I wanted some sun. So I have a daughter that lives in Houston. So I moved to Houston. That kind of settled that for a while. And then I started thinking, you know what? I need to retire. I'm just getting older, and I was selling furniture at the time. And I thought, oh my God, they're going to find me on one of these sofas one of these mornings, just passed out, because it's schooling work, sales, commission only. So I started looking at places to retire, and I was looking at Belize. I looked at Costa Rica briefly. And then I had a customer, a pair that came in, and they started talking about Panama. They said, you should look into it. I said, oh, I will. And I did. So I made a trip in 2015, and I loved it. I went back. I had to, gain some more vacation times. I went back for 6 months. January 1st, I got more vacation. So came back the middle of January. I was here for 2 weeks, went back, turned in my retirement papers, and in less than 10 days, I was here. That was February 10th of 2015. I was here. And I have been here ever since. I go back and visit my kids, my grandkids, great grandkids, but this is home.
I
Yes.
know that's right. So when you came, did you just come knowing where, I mean, how did you could, because you're in the same town as Linda, right?
Yes, yes.
So how did you end up there?
Well, the first time I came, we did a tour. I had someone who, I hired to do it, take me around and show me different places. And,
Mhm.
Colorado was the top rank, but I just didn't quite like the vibe. So I said, nah, I don't think so. So when I came back, I rented a house in Santa Clara.
Mhm.
And then there was an incident, security incident. And so it scared me. And I thought, no, I need to be someplace where I have security.
Mhm.
I moved to Playa Blanca.
Well, you got to tell Charlotte about the stick man.
The stick man?
That was the incident. You got to tell her about the stick man.
Tell
The
me about the
stick-
stick man.
Okay, the stick
What,
man.
look, what him do?
This, there are many stick men, more than one, but they use a stick and they go through an open window, put a hook on it, and they go through an open window and reach whatever they can. And so the stick man got me for some gold jewelry that was hanging on the wall. He got a set of
That's
keys.
so clever.
House keys, but they weren't, thank goodness. But look, it was funny because he used my tennis shoe strap lace to tie his hook to the stick.
So how did he get your tennis shoe lace?
The shoes were outside. I left the shoes outside, and the broom was outside. And and he also tore up my hammock and used that rope to tie my blinds out of the way.
Oh my gosh. So he never came in the house.
No.
He robbed you from outside of the house using all your stuff.
All my stuff.
That's cold.
And you
I
know what?
want to holler.
Here's the colder part. Lived there before me was my driver, and he had been hit by the stupid stick man. Never mentioned it.
Wow. So but you're braver than me because you leave your shoes outside. Girl, anything could be in them shoes. Oh Lord have mercy. You know them geckos can get in them shoes. The geckos is too much. Huh?
Shake them out before you put them on.
Yes.
Always.
I do that now, even when I leave my stuff inside. So I have to come and visit your area so that I have a visual. One thing that I like about doing this is that I'm learning about different areas, because when I first started doing this, all you got was, all you knew about was Coronado and Boquete. And there's so much in between. And so I love learning about different areas, but I don't think that I've been past Coronado. I don't think I've been out in your area, so I definitely have to get out there. So tell me about your neighborhood and your neighbors. What is it like? Is it diverse? Is it mainly expats there? What's it like?
Well, with Playa Blanca, there's a lot of expats. There are also some native people that own condos here. They're unfortunately, they mostly come for the weekends, and holidays. But the general area of Rio Alto is very diverse, very diverse.
Mhm.
So,
Is a resort there, Playa Blanca?
Playa Blanca is a resort and residences, and we're in the residences part.
Oh, okay. And then the actual town part is actually called Rio Alta.
Rio Alto.
Rio, thank you, Ruth. Rio, no, it's a boy. Rio Alta.
Sorry, it's compulsive.
Okay. So, and now that I know that you are Puerto Rican, then is that where you learned Spanish? So you're bilingual.
Yes, that's my native language. I learned English at the age of 6 when I came to the United States.
And you
And,
kept your Spanish.
yeah, well, more or less, mostly less, because in Seattle, there were no Spanish speaking people.
I bet
And
not.
I moved away and, she was doing her own thing. And I married an American guy, or two actually. And my children, we all spoke English. In fact, my kids, you never taught us how to speak Spanish. Oh boy.
I know. I wish that I knew. I do. My one of my granddaughters goes to a bilingual pre-K. She's been in a bilingual daycare since she was 2 months. And so
Wonderful.
the first 3 years, I like that. I really do. The first 3 years, they just do all Spanish. And then after that, it's bilingual. And I think that I can't wait to bring her to Panama, because I think it'll really bring it alive with her, because her parents don't speak Spanish, but she knows Spanish because they speak Spanish to her in school. And I think that our kids and our people just need whatever benefits we can get. And speaking Spanish is definitely a benefit. My husband used to get extra pay every month just because he could speak Spanish. Yeah, just because he could speak Spanish. So thank you. So so let me ask you this. How did you both find Black expats in Panama? Do you remember?
Well, again, let's see. We were out at an event in the city, and that's when I first met you.
Okay.
Our good friend Ife, and you started talking a little bit about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get with that. I really want to know more about it. Well, we went through the event, and I talked to Ife a couple of times, and it just didn't come together until later on. And then I found out about you because I happened to hit one of your blogs one night. Found out about the sister locks and so forth and so on.
Okay.
And, so that's kind of how I got to know you. And then just going on and subscribing to or becoming a member of the Black expats in Panama, it's just been a hoot. I'm telling you.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for your support. I think when we met, and that was Idania. We went to see Idania in November of 2019. That was the first official Black expats meetup. And truth be told, half of the people there was my family. Because the meetup group was so small back then. And it really just expanded when COVID hit. So thank you for being a member. How about you, Ruth?
I actually just kind of stumbled into it on Facebook. Like, oh, Black expats in Panama. Wow, that's me.
Right.
I become a member immediately, and I've been part of it ever since. And I think wonderful, just wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate you both. And that's why I'm also here to celebrate you today. I like to encourage Black expats when we come to Panama to be engaged. And we were talking about it some on the Zoom call we did the other night with the brothers, and how, I think Reginald McCamey made a good point. He was like, look, Panama don't need y'all, in the sense that don't think you want to come here and be the savior of Panama, because Panama can take care of itself. And that's absolutely true. And I think that we need each other. And the thing about expats is that our life changes when we become expats. So when you're in the United States, and the United States has that culture of just on a treadmill, you never stop, you're always busy, from one thing to another. A lot of us live in areas, like I live in Northern Virginia, a lot of us live in areas that are expensive to afford. So you really can't slow down, because you got to be making them ends to make them ends meet, okay? But the great thing is that when we make a choice to come and live in a foreign land, we're certainly not going to come and live in a foreign land because we want to work harder. than we were in our own, country, or that we're going to pay more money to live in the land that we're right. Okay, so we get to make different choices, and we get more control over how we decide to spend our time. So that is why I think we're in a good place for philanthropy, where we may not have been so much positioned to be able to give as much time in the United States. Plus, a lot of us are in retirement, status. So again, you get to continue to choose. So one thing that I like about you ladies is that you're very community concerned, I should say. And tell us about some of the things. I know that you've done some things prior to your El Proyecto Phoenix. And so tell us about that, how you got involved in community involvement in Panama, what you've done, and then roll us right into what you're doing.
Okay, I'll take a read on that one. When I first moved here in actually was in Gorgona, my thought was, where are the Black people? There's no Black people here. Because the building I lived in, there were none. And when I go to Coronado, I didn't see any. And so and
this was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I would be in the grocery store or anywhere on the street and I heard English, I would go, "Oh, you speak English?" and start up a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
From there I started a group called Wednesday Coffee Break is what it was.
Wednesday Coffee Break?
And we had a little coffee shop and we would meet up on Wednesdays, the ladies. And it was great because everybody was segmented and I would run into a lot of single ladies that were here. And it gave us a place to come meet, to network and to get to know each other and all of that. And that went on, well, we lost the coffee shop about 2 years in, I guess, or a year and a half in. And then we decided to switch it to the Wednesday lunch break. And Ruth co-sponsored with me the Wednesday lunch breaks. And we did that for another 3.5 years or whatever it came up to, 5 years running. Mm-hmm. And okay, I had enough, I'm tired. I need to do something else.
Yeah.
And from there, during that time of that Wednesday coffee break, Ruth and I also saw the need. There was a lot of safety meetings and things of that nature going on. And we set out to do a community and police appreciation day in Gorgona. Okay. So my first 3 years in Panama that these events are taking place. So with the Community and Police Appreciation Day, we had 400 to 500 people in attendance. The kids got to ride around on the police ATVs. They had the fire department that did some demonstrations. They had police and community baseball game. There was plenty of food. We had vendors. I mean, it was amazing.
Entertainment. Don't forget entertainment.
Oh yes, we had entertainment. We even had the police dogs entertaining us.
That's pretty remarkable. And I'm going to say this because, okay, so you were saying you were here about 3 years when you did that. So that was at least 6 years ago. And even 6 years ago, I don't believe that social media was what it is today. And so for you all to be able to put something together like that, you all as foreigners, to be able to put something together like that, and to be able to have that many people come out and support it, that was like, y'all go. I'm gonna have to take notes.
It was amazing.
I had to take notes because it was a lot harder then to do what's so easy to do now that everybody is on social media, right?
That's true.
That was awesome. So let me ask you this: did you all meet in Panama?
Yes.
Yes.
So y'all met and just clicked.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you meet her in a grocery store? Did you how did you meet? How did y'all meet?
I think if
You
I
were
remember, I
driving.
was driving and somebody asked me if I would be willing to give someone a lift, and I said, sure.
And
And
that
it
was
was,
and that was Linda. So
yeah,
Linda, you was hopping the ride.
yeah. And you know what? I want to say this because Linda is very generous with her inclusion of me. But Linda is the visionary. She's the one that gets these germs of ideas. And then she, of course, turns to me and says, let's do this. Oh my God, really? You know, so I want to make sure that everybody understands that when she says we, it's really her. And I'm just kind of, okay.
That's wonderful. I told her, I said, you know, I think Ruth is just your ride or die, but probably what it is you're each other's ride or die. And I think coming to a place that, you know, you're not naturally from, you know, to find that ride or die sister is just, I mean, just imagine how much more enriched your life is and your life is because you were in it and you were in it, right?
Oh,
In Panama.
absolutely.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I love that. I love that. I love sister girl relationships, period. You know,
Right.
and like I was telling the guys the other night, you know, there's just something special about female relationships because the guys, you know, and they said, nah, we talk about stuff, but I don't know, hard to tell. Okay, but they say they talk about stuff. I think they talk about football, basketball, and whatever other superficial stuff, you know. And I think maybe women try to pull them into more deep conversations to that they like when they with their fellas, they just want to be superficial. But it's nothing like having that sister friend that you can, you know, say something like, you know, I'm really feeling some kind of way. You know, I'm really in a funk about such and such, so and so. I don't know why I feel this way, but I am. And it's having somebody to talk it out with, you know, that's safe. And I'm gonna be transparent. I don't like it when we say safe place or safe space. I just like, when did we get so afraid of being in a space? Like people talk to me on the group page and they say, well, this is supposed to be a safe space. Girl, this is a Facebook group. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like either you want to be, either it's for you or it's not. You're safe. Right. We can take care of ourselves on a lot of days.
Exactly.
But to be able to have that person that you can go to and you know that your heart is safe with them, that is what is just absolutely amazing. And I love that about you too. And so, okay, so y'all ride or die chicks and y'all pulled off this big old event in Gorgona. That was just awesome. I'm not even playing. I'm gonna call y'all up for some notes. And now tell us how Linda thought of El Proyecto Phoenix and then got Ruth involved, what you're doing and what you're wanting to do with that group.
You know, I brought along, if I could just show it while I talk, maybe.
Okay.
Is it upside down?
No, it's
I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it.
So basically, when we do a presentation, we bring something like this with us, and we identify ourselves, obviously. And then, you know, we get into what our mission statement is and what we're doing. But this is how it came about. And return to this picture because a picture is worth 1,000 words. I was going out with this group this was before COVID, going out food to families. And so I did it for a couple of weeks, and what kept brewing in the back of my mind was, why are we bringing these people fish every week? Why don't we do fish? Because if we teach them to fish, we never have to bring them another fish. And it adds a level of self assurance to them that they can feed themselves, right? So So after doing that, and then seeing some of the conditions in which the people were living, it was like, oh no, we got to do something about this. This is just unbelievable. People
Mhm.
in were some of the outdoor bathroom facilities.
Okay, that's housing. They got outdoor
This is
bathrooms.
Yeah, with a shower on one side, the toilet on the other, and you see what they have for privacy. Can you imagine going out there at midnight because you need to make a run?
No, because you know what's out there. The gecko. You know, look, I would pee on myself. I would have my grandma used to have a can by her bed. I would be one of them. I said I dump it in the morning. I ain't going out there.
Absolutely. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But this right here, if you can see that, that's made of sticks and rags.
It's a hut.
It's somebody's house.
It's somebody's house. Okay.
You can imagine.
And what I'll say is this, you know, maybe when we publish this video, that maybe you can just give me that document electronically, and I can put those up, you know, as pictures behind the interview, so that people can see them more clearly and take more time and look at them.
Absolutely. I just want to kind of give you an idea.
Yes, yes. And I think that is, I'm glad that you do, because at the end of the day, when we come in as expats, we're certainly not looking for areas like that to live in. No. And in some cases, you're not going to see any, because if you're telling your realtor, you know, I'm looking at a budget of $900 to $1,500 or $2,000 a month, you're never going to see what you just showed us. So, right. I mean, basically, this is the things that we need to know. And so go ahead.
So anyway, after doing that for several weeks, I sat down with Ruth and I said, Ruth, I need to share something with you. And I told her, I said, you know, one of the things that we can do in the form of giving back is to help these people reach a place of sustainability. Yeah. So that we can get rid of this mindset. Oh, they're expats. You have money. I want your money. More into that level of self-assurance and self-reliance that says, I can do this on my own and you will gladly bring me your money. Go ahead, Olive.
Well, I think that for the most part, for me anyway, when Linda brought this up, it was like, you know, I would not be able to live the way I live in the United States on my retirement money. I would be able to. And that was one of the motivating factors that led me to look for a place outside of the US where I could continue to live the way I was living when I was working full time and, you know, really busting my to make everything come together. And here, it's simple, and you come here and it's just so beautiful that, you know, we have a lovely apartment and we have all, you know, we go out to dinner and we enjoy so many things. And the people are so nice. They're just kind and they're gentle people. They don't really like a lot of confrontation stuff. So it works really well to be a part of the community and give back. My initial, I guess you could call it involvement, was I was doing some English, teaching some English to a couple of young ladies, little girls, because their parents felt it was important for them to know the language. As far as Proyecto Phoenix is concerned, we really want to get the people to a point of self-sustainability where they can feel not only the pride that comes with that, but that they can also enrich the lives of others by participating in that same process. And I think that for me, that's what pulls this thing together into such a wonderful idea, that it's not, okay, we're going to give you this and then we're going to go off over here and live our lives and you just, finish it off. No, we're going to do education that we can get them to reach that level of self-sustainability and break those chains that keep them in that generational poverty, because that's really important. It's not just, it's like, when I was little, I had a different standard. My mom worked hard to get us to a certain level, and now we worked hard to get our children to a certain level. And, that's what you do. But if you're always at the bottom, it's extremely difficult to even think about lifting my family up.
Let me just interject this right here.
Mhm.
One of the other things that I saw going out is the hopelessness in each family as we went there,
Mhm.
and not seeing that light of hope in any of their faces. And though we were coming, they were grateful for us coming. But sometimes I even felt like the people felt like they're bringing me food
Again, yeah.
and I really wished it wasn't like this, but I do need it.
Mhm.
And that's what kept rising up in me. And I'm like, we can do this. Community, cooperative economics,
Yes.
JAMA, some of us are familiar with.
Mhm.
There's a way of
Yes.
working
Yes.
where it benefits the entire community. And so Ruth and I toiled over this thing and we turned it right side up, upside down, sideways, backwards, frontwards, everywhere you could turn it, to find a way to make it where it would become self-supporting and self-sustaining.
Mhm.
So we will be relying on sponsors and donors,
Mhm.
because in some of these cases, we have to build these people homes.
Mhm.
My prize baby in the future is going to be building Phoenix Community.
Mm.
Phoenix Community will be a community of X number of houses. We don't have a number yet,
No.
but we want to buy the land and start building these houses. And as the people come through our project, they complete the project, they can move into these homes, and all they're going to do is pay for the maintenance of the community and the community garden and doing things within the community themselves to instill that pride, not only of ownership, but that pride of community and being able to give to that community.
Mhm.
Are we trying to make it like the US? No, we're
No.
not. We came in asking the people how we could serve them.
Mhm.
What is your greatest need? And it just so happened the 57 families that we're currently about to launch with wanted exactly what we were proposing.
Wow.
So we did them first, and then we came back with our proposal.
Mhm.
And it just was like, we need this. And we were like, we want to bring this.
Right.
So it's coming together.
Mhm.
So go ahead, Ruth.
One of the things that keeps going through my mind is that sometimes people don't know they can do better until someone shows them how
Mhm.
to.
Yes.
And
Yes. That's a big thing. And I think that's universal. You know what I'm saying? That is universal. And that's why we were talking yesterday as we were on our way out to Dr. Latham's farm, just about, previous experiences. And I talked about welfare to work, and that was my heart. I had talked about how I had collected a welfare check in my life and how I absolutely never intended for it to be my life. But when I found myself as a single parent, and I had quit my job. Okay, full disclosure, I had quit my job, but I never had a problem finding another one. And this particular time, the jobs was dry. And I was living so close on a budget that 6 weeks had me looking at, eviction, car note not being paid because you live in check to check.
Yes.
And then when it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I had 11 cents in the bank and never had thought all this time, how hard it must have been over those weeks when I finally got to 11 cents in the bank and wake up and say, okay, what I'm gonna do today? And I said, you know what, this is what welfare is for. I'm going to welfare. I had been working since I was 14 years old. I had never collected a day of welfare. And then I was like, okay, what do I put on? Because I lived in a very nice area in New Jersey, and because this wasn't my life. But anyway, I went there, and I was made to feel that I didn't deserve to receive any benefits because of where I was living, and you can't continue to live there. Well, this is not going to be my lifestyle. So anyway, I say all that to say that I know what it's like, even that was a very short, brief time in my life, because welfare could have never sustained me, okay, ever. And, but I know what it's like to collect it. I know what it's like to get that check. I know what it's like. I knew what it's like to be in a line where everybody else had green dollars and yours was yellow, purple, green, look, red. You had all this monopoly. You had all this monopoly money when it comes time for you to pay for your groceries. Never forget being in a line where this woman was standing behind me and we were like best friends talking in the line. And I had good, nutritious food in my in my basket. And baby, when she saw me pull out them food stamps, if her eyes could have killed me, they would have. So I know what it's like, because they give you in New Jersey at that time, all you needed to do was collect 1 month of welfare benefits, and they would give you 12 months of Medicaid. Yeah, Medicaid. And going to the doctors and say, Miss Higginbotham, are you still on Medicaid? Loud, so the whole waiting area, could see. So I could go to these people and say, listen, I've been there, done that. We can do better, as opposed to somebody that is in need, somebody that's living in that situation, somebody that's lifestyle is that situation. Can't nobody tell them, that this can be better, but if you see somebody that looks like you, especially someone that looks like you, and say, hey, been there, done that. We can do better, believe me. It makes a difference. It really does. And so I wholeheartedly believe in what you're saying. And I had a situation with homeless couple, and same thing. They were homeless, and I delved into an area I knew nothing about, and they had some kind of certificate that would entitle them to a house or, housing. They didn't have nowhere to live. They didn't have nowhere to activate this certificate, right? And I helped them do that, helped them get a place. And what I learned was that you can't just take people that have been living on the street and put them in a house and expect them to know how to live. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach them to fish. Because of course that situation with the house that I got them didn't last long at all, because they needed more life skills in order to be able. So I say all that to say that I totally get what you're saying. Have you reached out to local government at all on this?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
And when we did, we had the full support of the deputy and Antone. And of course, with COVID hitting, they have been preoccupied with all of that. So we have not heard anything of late, but they were like all for the program. And some ways that we expats would care enough to want to do this without expecting a dime in return. Volunteer.
Yeah. Volunteer. So now also you have applied for your 501c3, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you get your 501c3, I mean, people love to donate, but people love to donate when they can write it off. You know, that
Absolutely.
is an incentive. I
Yes.
haven't quite figured out how to do that in Panama with, you know, basically the nonprofits. I don't think there's any like structured way to get a tax refund or write it off.
We basically use a U.S. corporation,
Mm-hmm.
and our 501c obviously is filed in the U.S. because that is a U.S. thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I find out that because we have already filed,
mm-hmm.
that anybody who donates to the project, even now, we can retro them and give them
Oh,
that they can use for their taxes.
Yes.
okay. That's fabulous. And I'll just
Yes.
say this to the audience. If anybody knows anybody within these local jurisdiction where they are, it's Alto. What is it? Bocas Alto? Rio Alto.
Which is really the Antone. Antone.
Anton is the district.
Antone is the district. So if anybody knows anybody in, you know, local government in those areas, please, by all means, reach out to Linda and Joyce if you can help get that moving anyway. And I know they're overwhelmed, you know, with stuff. And I get it, and I really appreciate your patience with them. But reach out to them again, you know, and just remind them, because
We follow up.
you do. Okay.
We will not allow them to forget us, because I'm gonna tell you, Charlotte, when you see the things that we saw and living, like Ruth talked about, the way we live and the way that come here and live, and when you see how they live and what little they function on,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't grip your heart that you need to be
Heartless.
hard in for a real one.
Yes, yes, I hear you. I hear you. So in addition to that, I mean, so hopefully what we can achieve by this video is to have people that can not only come with financial contributions, but I'm sure that you'll need people to help to mentor, to educate, and offer their services. And so, you know, what kinds of services and assistance can you use right now?
Well, right now, we're looking to get in place to start interviewing the 57 families that we have already identified and registered for the program. What we're looking for is primarily bilingual people who can conduct these interviews and get these people sort of ranked in terms of their need, so that we can start developing whatever it is that they need. In addition to that, we're really wanting to expand our board. We are sitting with 6 members right now, including the 2 of us, and it's just not enough. We need people who have a passion for doing something that is really going to be beneficial to the population, and have some time. We don't demand a lot of time, but it does require some time. And we would love to be able to interview several people for positions on the board. Okay, and positions on the board, is your board set up in like, is it departmentalized? Like, does your board have it so like certain people are over certain segments of the organization, or is that how it's set up? We currently have President Linda, Vice President Ruth. We have a treasurer, we have a secretary, we have a sergeant at arms, and we have a communications director that is unfortunately having to step back because she's just. So we need to fill that spot. And that's an important spot.
Yes,
it is. It takes a certain skill level or skill, at least, to be able to accomplish those things. But you all were able to get 400 to 500 people together. So don't underestimate yourselves while you're waiting
for that, for God to send you that person, you know, because that's the other thing. You don't want just anybody. You know what I'm saying? You want the right people for sure.
Absolutely.
Don't underestimate yourselves. And come November, I mean, I know, and the other thing is for people that are listening to this, listen, if you can't really commit to it, don't do it. That is just one of the worst things. You know, it's like when people volunteer for stuff. I'm not saying you have to do it. I say you volunteer for it and then don't come through. You know, that is just not, that is just the worst, because there's nobody to pick up the slack for you, because everybody there is a volunteer. But I'll say this, after November, my life should be, I'm rearranging my life. And, you know, whatever I can do to help, I definitely will. So reach out. I may tell you no.
It's okay. We heard that.
Reach out. And if there's anything I can help with, because I really like what you're doing. Okay. So now let me ask you this. How did you come up with the name Phoenix? El Proyecto Phoenix.
In English, it is the Phoenix Rises, or the Phoenix Project is what it is. And you know, Phoenix rises from its own ashes, basically. He just rises from the fire and just so. And so that's the emblem that we use. And it says rising from the ashes. And then it says building empowered communities.
Wonderful.
And that is what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So now let me ask you this. So we talked about, you know, what you're doing, you know, where you want to go, the things that you need as far as resources and people that can help. And this is really something good for people that are in the Coronado, Gorgona area, because they're closer, right? As opposed to like city people that might be a little bit harder to get to meetings and to actually be active in that way, besides financial, because that's always, you know, going to be a way. So one of the things, finance is always important. You know, we can have a whole lot on our heart and want to do a whole lot, but a lot of times we need finance, we need sponsors, you know, like you said. I know that you have a couple of events coming up that your aim will be to raise money. So tell us about them.
Okay, we'll start with the cruise, and then Linda can talk about the November event. The cruise is February 21st to 28th, and it's with Norwegian Cruise Lines. And it is, the itinerary is Aruba and that whole area of the Caribbean. It leaves out of Cologne.
Mm-hmm.
For people that are here, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe then they fly back from the last port, and I can't remember off the top of my head which port that is. But every cabin that registers to go, part of the proceeds, 100 of their proceeds is a donation to El Proyecto Phoenix.
Okay.
So if you book a cabin, $100 of your booking goes to El Proyecto Phoenix.
Okay. So that's cool.
Yeah, and I will provide the flyer for you too.
Okay. Okay. And if there's like a special link that people, you know how they would identify themselves as wanting to be a part of El Proyecto. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. That is the other thing too. We are in the process of getting our website up and running.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, if you volunteer for something, we need your follow through, because we are on a time crunch right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because of pieces that were supposed to have been handled by A, B, or C, and it comes back in our lap. And
Mm-hmm.
to engineer the train is one thing, but if you got to keep running back to the caboose, that train is not going to get very far very soon.
Right.
So with that, I just wanted to interject that in when we talk about people and what's needed. I mean, they couldn't pay me enough to do this.
Mhm.
It's a hard thing.
Yes.
Yes,
It's definitely a hard thing.
yeah.
The November event is going to be a fun event, and I really hope that BEIP will support this
Mhm.
restaurant here in Rio Hato at Atlanta, and it's called El Rinconcito Habanero. Did I say that right?
You did.
All right. She was a good teacher. She
Uh-huh.
it's me. But
Y'all
anyway,
gonna have to write that down for me, because I'm winging
Okay.
it.
all right.
So go ahead. So this restaurant is in Gorgona or?
It's in Playa Blanca.
Okay.
So way in the interior for those coming from the city,
Mm-hmm.
they'll probably want to spend the night. It'd be a good opportunity for them to come out and see what's out here.
Okay.
And so anyway, that particular event is going to be centered around socializing, networking, but it's tapas and dessert tastings. And there are a number of people that are submitting desserts, and we'll be, if there's people from the city or from BEIP that want to submit a dessert entree, and we're supposed to have some kind of, judging for that. And then the highlight is that the chef of El Rinconcito challenged me to a brownie baking contest.
No, he or she did not.
Yes, he did. And every time he sees me, he goes, brownie. And I'm like, he doesn't have
You make
clue.
a bad brownie, Linda.
Do I make a bad brownie?
She makes a bad brownie.
Oh my gosh, y'all gotta save me one of them brownies. I'm not gonna be here on November 1st. I'll be in the States, but Black expats in Panama Beep will definitely support this. We, just need to get a flyer, something to put out, to the people, and we will definitely put our support behind it. What do you know what the amount of the tickets is gonna be?
No, I'll have that. But I think, what do we talk about? It'll be 35 or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And then it's also good because, sometimes people are coming in who may not be here yet, but are exploring the area, and they're always looking for things to do. So as soon as we can get the details on that and a poster, that would be amazing.
Okay.
Okay, and so those are the events that you have planned as of right now, and you will get us more information on that, and hopefully we'll be able to submit it when we release this video, this interview on YouTube. Is there any final thoughts or words that you would all like to share, and let us know how we can get in touch with you in the meantime?
Okay. I'll let her tie the ribbon. I'll make as the kids call it, I'll make the bridge. She can. I wanted to say that the thing that we really need right now are those bilingual speakers.
Okay.
And if people are not bilingual themselves, if they know people that are reliable people that are bilingual.
And let me say this too. One of the things that I'm doing is mentoring natural hair, Afro-Panamanians doing natural hair. And if we have Panamanians that are, that are here, that come from these areas, that have been able to rise up, like the Phoenix, if you could just come back, and they could just come back and lend a little bit. They have the experience, and when the people look at them and say, as opposed to looking at an American, where I think some people in Panama think we just come from, oh my God, they just think it's silver spoons and milk and honey in the U.S. And so they might look at you and say, well, easy for you to say, or easy for you to do. But when they see somebody from their own community that has done it and that is reaching back, that gives it a whole nother level of excitement and participation. So I think we really need to call on Panamanians to come back, you know?
We're looking at some of the students with the PCIS school, the Panama International School,
Okay.
the students from there, the older ones.
Mhm.
And we are looking at some of the students from Five Star Academy, which is run by, I don't know if you know her, we call her MC. And her foundation is JLM Foundation.
Oh, I think you told me about her. Okay. And is she the one, is she in your area? Or is it
She
the recess area?
moved recently, so I have to find out exactly where
Okay. Okay.
she has a school in the city, I understand now, or very close to the city, and she has.
I'm wondering if it's a school here in the Brisa de Golf Norte area.
It could be.
Mhm.
The name of it is?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, her.
But I
school-
know they have some private schools here that are pretty good.
Yeah, her school in Coronado is called Five Star Academy.
Okay.
All right, it's not in Coronado, it's in Santa Clara, I
Santa
think.
Clara.
Santa Clara. And it's called
Okay.
Academy.
Okay. All right. And if they want to get in touch with you,
All right, I'm going to also send you some information, but what's my phone number? I'm sorry. I'm asking her, what is my phone number? I didn't bring that with me and my purse is in the other room. Let me see.
well, you know, it used to be that we knew our grandmama's phone number, but now
Everybody-
it's like, and my Panama number, I have it on the back of my phone. And I'm a little bit younger, but look, I still got mine on the back of my phone because I forget. So what I can do is I can make sure that I add it.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll make sure I add it in the information and put it on one of the slides at the end. No problem at all.
You have business cards, so you can maybe put that in a slide.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Just get it over to me and I will take care of that. I want to thank you both for your time, and that you have anything else you want to add before we close out?
We're just looking for this project to just change the whole poverty level to a whole nother level where poverty is being eradicated,
Mhm.
one family at a time.
One family at a time. One family at a time, one volunteer at a time. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's how it works. And sometimes you look at stuff and, you know, some people would just say, it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much. You know, these people have been in this place for too long. You know, it's probably not going to work, but it's people like, you know, you and Ruth that come and say, but what if it does? And you know what, we're here, we can give what we have to give to see that it does. And I applaud you. I thank you for having the heart to do this and to bring people together in this project. And just thank you for wanting to give back to Panama. Panama is very generous to us, you know, as Black expats living here. Like you say, I mean, even with the retirement income, you know, U.S. retirement income, we live very well here. So we should be able to give a little back, right? Because we're not scratching and scruffling, scratching and scraping like good times no more, right? So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you both. And I will look forward to getting this out to the people. I'll try to get it out within the next week. And I just wish you all a great day. And thank you for spending time with us and for supporting Black expats in Panama.
Let me say this before we just exit ourselves, if you don't mind.
No problem.
As Ruth and I, we do have an exit strategy. We want this to be so successful that when we turn it over to the Panamanian communities,
Mhm.
it themselves
Yes,
continues and that it spreads throughout Panama.
yes, absolutely.
So it's not something that we're doing for our glory because there's no
Mhm. Exactly,
yeah, the
exactly,
glory goes to God, and the glory
exactly.
I want to spill out on the families. And so that is our exit strategy, to
Mhm.
train Panamanians to take this whole concept, this whole
Mhm.
project, and begin to implement it themselves in
Mhm.
community and working it in those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the same concept that I'm trying to implement. I'm going to be working with a women's organization in Cologne to mentor and train Afro-Panamanians in natural hair business development, customer service, and things like that. But what I told them was that I would much rather train someone who is already looked at as a leader in their community, and then let them train the people so that they could see they could own it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about me being up front or receiving any glory at all. I can be in the background, but if I'm doing what God has put on my heart to do, and then somebody else can take it and run forward, hey, you know what? It's plant and water. Plant and water. That's it. That's it. Plant and water and repeat.
That's it.
Right? So I thank you for the seeds that you're planting. And I will see you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the lovely Linda and Ruth, and just really happy to be able to share their heart's desire with you. And I hope that you can help. I thank you all for just so many of us, that are in the Black Expats in Panama group. We are coming with a heart of giving, and that's what's up. Because like I said, Panama is very generous, and I want to give back as much as I can. And I don't want us to be people that come to Panama and other countries and then just, take. So we definitely want to be givers as well. And I will put all the information at the end of this video. In the meantime, to remind you about some things that we have coming up, Black Expats in Panama. We have released our Black Expats Explore Panama Cultural Relocation Tour dates for 2022. So I'll have the link at the bottom of this video, because a lot of people have been asking for that. And I appreciate the interest, and I'm just so excited about what 2022 is going to bring. So we have that. Our next tour and our last tour for 2021 starts December 1st. So we have that. Then we have, let's see, Sister Locks. You there? Sister Locked in Panama. So Sister Locked in Panama is the second trip. It's a girls' trip. You don't have to have Sister Locks to come, but you do need to come with the right spirit and be ready to connect with sisters from the United States, and in a different place where we can delve into the Black culture here in Panama, and also just have a ton of fun. This is not a relocation tour, so we are not going to be taking you around, showing you different places to live, but just showing you how to enjoy Panama and to learn more about their culture. I'll put the link down there to that. This is going to be January 14th through the 19th. And I think I'm going to do a video with the people that came on the first tour. The first tour we did in 2020, right before COVID hit. And when I tell you, women that had never met, I had 42 women with me, and women that had never met, are best friends to this day. We've gone on at least 2 trips together, since then, and it's just an amazing thing. So you definitely want to consider Sister Locked in Panama. The other thing is that Blaxit Radio, BLAXIT radio.com is up and running. Some of the hosts have started their shows, and beloved, my show, the Panama representative for BlackSitRadio.com is Charlotte Van Horn, and I will launch my first show on November 7th. It's a Sunday, and I will give you all the details, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's all that I have for now. But listen, it was good getting together, and I will see y'all soon. Hope everything is well. And thank you very much for your love and support of Black expats in Panama. If you have any questions, thank you for those who have, engaged in the meetups. Y'all are just so dope, okay? And I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of you. So I love you. I really do. And I will see y'all soon. This is Charlotte Van Horn with Black Expats in Panama. Signing off, baby. Till next time.